I went on self-improvement for 1 year. Here's what happened. Self-improvement is the act of leveling up every day to become the best version of yourself. During this journey, I wanted to achieve a better physique, learn about business, and progress on the things that would help me live my dream life. Here's how it went. I woke up at 11 p.m. and spent 30 minutes scrolling on Instagram. Then when I finally got up, the first thing I did was turn on my computer to watch YouTube while having breakfast. A nice plate of chocolate cereal. Then I load up Discord and spend the rest of the day playing video games, scrolling on TikTok in between games, and eating junk food. As a result, my body looked like this. Skinny fat. I couldn't do a single push-up and I was extremely feminine. This is how I lived my life every day since I was 14 until I decided to change. That day I was watching a YouTuber who had a pretty nice physique, Danny Duncan, and I got really inspired. So right there and then I decided that I was gonna get in shape for summer to get girls, and that was the start of my journey. I woke up again at 11 p.m. I again spent 30 minutes scrolling on Instagram. But right after that, instead of turning on my computer right away, I started doing push-ups. I did 25 push-ups on my knees, of course, and 50 ab crunches. I was extremely motivated to get rid of my triangle man boobs and actually for once get in shape. A week went by where I worked out every single day. That was the most consistent I've ever been working out. Normally when I would try to get in shape, I would do a couple workouts for 3 days and then quit. But this time was different. I stayed consistent for an entire week and I had no intention to quit. I had enough of my skinny fat physique and I wanted to get in shape. I was working out every single day in the morning and I was eating more protein. I literally felt better and I started getting stronger already on day 7. I worked out every day for that month. Never in my life have I been this consistent in working out and getting in shape. I also started adding exercises to my workout routine. I added 25 push-ups on a ledge and I added 50 more crunches and 50 bicep curls with 3 kilogram weights. That month, I went to the supermarket and I got my first ever protein powder bag. This was my body transformation so far. I felt amazing. And that month, I was able to do my first ever push-up. I was with my friends at a park and I decided to try it to see if I could do a push-up, not on my knees. And I did 5. From not being able to do a single push-up to literally doing 5. I was getting bigger, stronger, eating healthier and better. The downside of this was that I still had terrible habits. I was still waking up late, binge watching YouTube and scrolling on TikTok for hours, mincing the meat. Month 3, I kept working out and I signed up to the gym for the first time in my life. So I made my first gym routine and I remember I wouldn't take my hoodie off at the gym because of how skinny I was, but I was motivated. I wanted to gain muscle and get strong. And after a month of going to the gym, I did my first ever pull-up. At this point, I was barely playing video games and I started becoming way more masculine. I stopped dressing like a TikTok soy boy and I stopped painting my nails. People started noticing my gains. I finally started looking like the Chads in my school that I used to resent and secretly want to be like them. I cut my long hair. My clothes started fitting better. I was stronger than ever and overall more confident than I had ever been. At this point, the gym had become a part of my life and I was able to be so consistent in working out because I started slow. I started at my level. I didn't start by doing the most difficult workout of my life. I started slow, slowly building up and progressing. I started from doing 25 push-ups on my knees a day to, at this point, working out for 2 hours a day. During this month, I also found self-improvement YouTube. I tried implementing some of the good habits, like becoming more productive and reduce the amount of time you scroll on TikTok and nofap, but I struggled a lot. But I got my first ever book, The Way of the Superior Man, and for the first time in my life, I finished reading a book from start to finish. I was becoming more masculine. I knew what good habits I was supposed to be doing. This month was a huge 180 for me in my life. I tried starting a dropshipping business. It failed tremendously. But because I barely had any discipline and I wasn't even working hard. On the bright side, by this time I had finished reading 3 books in total, and reading became a habit for me. I started doing the Wim Hof method every single day in the morning, and I started taking cold showers, and those things also became habits. I was able to make these habits because I again started slow with them. I didn't immediately start by reading 30 pages of a book. I started by reading literally just 2 a day and slowly progressing. At this point, my physique looked better than ever, and I became the strong one in the friend group. Also, a big part of me for staying consistent and working out was because I wanted to beat my friend, who was the strong one in the friend group. I competed with him, and as a result, I became a better version of myself. People say, oh, don't compete, but competition pushes you to become the best version of yourself. I also completely stopped playing video games, and I drastically reduced the time I was on social media. Don't get me wrong, I was still on it. Now here I am. This past year and a half, I completely transformed in every aspect of my life. I went from a weak, skinny fat, feminine boy to a more masculine, strong, hardworking man. I recently tried dropshipping again, and I started making more money than my mom. It's nothing compared to the standard you're used to looking at, like Andrew Tate, but for me, it's a huge accomplishment, and I'm bigger and stronger than 80% of men. I got out of my comfort zone. I did the difficult action, and I stayed consistent, and now I'm reaping some of the rewards. And in a year, I'm gonna be reaping way more rewards. But this is a life journey. It's just a beginning. This journey was full of ups and downs, and what I realized is that that's life. There will always be ups and downs, and sometimes you'll feel insecurity in what you're doing, and you're gonna want to quit, and that's why you need to trust the process. How will you look a year from now if you start implementing self-improvement? This process of me changing my life took about a year and a half, and thanks to this video, you can speed up that process and start taking action now, and it'll just take you 2 weeks. So click on this video and watch it right now, and always remember to trust the process.